Welcome to opening night of the City League in 2026 and the City League Live YouTube channel. The very first game of this City League season will be played between Boys and Girls Club and Prodigy Sports Network. I'm Andrew Garrison, alongside me Brooks White, here with you for the first night of the City League season. Brooks, this should be a lot of fun as always.
Well, the City League is always just such a fun time of the year, especially here in Indianapolis during the summer. And it's finally time to play some more basketball. You know, we've taken the spring off. It's been a lot of baseball for you and I, but back to some hoops. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have Greg Foster's team on one side, Prodigy Sports Network. The last time the City League was on this court at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center, Greg Foster was in action. Then for Indianapolis Recorder, his team lost by 5 to Press Play Gaming Lounge in the men's championship game a year ago. And now Foster is back with Prodigy Sports Network. He made some moves in free agency. He is searching for a championship with his full heart this season. And the tip is underway, and it's none other than Greg Foster with the ball first as he pushes it up the floor to Xavier Turner, who sneaks inside to the block and then kicks it back out to Hillsman. Foster with it at the top of the key. And Foster will survey his options. He goes downhill, up, under, and off the mark, but there's a foul.
Greg Foster is just the X factor. If you know anything about the City League, you have to have your eyes on number 5 at all times. He shows it right there, just taking it to the hole. He's just very aggressive. Watch out for him tonight.
Absolutely. He is the one who really led the way in getting Xavier Turner in free agency here at the City League to pull him from that Elevate Indianapolis squad that went 0-4, but Turner starred throughout that season. And Foster saw that, took note of it, and brought him here to search for a championship on this court that's right next to his alma mater, Indianapolis Arsenal Tech High School. He makes both free throws, and Prodigy leads 2-0 as now Boys and Girls Club has an opportunity to work back the other way. Off the left wing, that's a triple that'll lift the lead to Boys and Girls Club. Turner handling the ball on the left wing. He works inside, and he is fouled, much to the chagrin of the entire Boys and Girls Club roster, but that just shows you the handles and the ingenuity of Xavier Turner heading in the downhill direction. Foster with it at the top of the key off of the inbounds. He works to the elbow, pulls for a long two, some fingers on it, and now Boys and Girls Club working back the other way, but a steal in transition, and Prodigy Sports Network maintains possession of the basketball. Turner can shoot two, misses that time. And it's Boys and Girls Club back the other way, looking to extend the early lead. Shots off the mark, rebound on the left wing, and that shot is good. .735 left to go here in the first period at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Fast pace early, and that'll be a score from Micah Poole. Boys and Girls Club extends the lead. Well, we saw the official put two arms up to indicate that the three-point left corner triple was good a little bit earlier on, but we haven't yet seen the official scoreboard inside Bonner Fitness and Learning Center update, and there it is. So it is going to be 8-2. Brief confusion in the arena. But Jacoby Robinson now pulls. He looks to change the score once again. Not quite able to do so. Rebounded by Foster. He pushes the ball up the floor. Finds Turner, and Turner with a hand in his face knocks it down.
And I think Prodigy is really going to have to hit some big-time shots. They're getting beat up and down the floor right now by Boys and Girls Club, so they're going to have to win by shooting the ball well.
Boys and Girls Club winning in transition. Can Prodigy win in the half court? Not that time. Foster misses. And Boys and Girls Club this time not quite in the right place in transition, and they miss an opportunity to score. This Boys and Girls Club team has multiple former football players on the roster, including in the backcourt. It's going to be a physical, aggressive team, and you can see that early as they seek disruption. Foster contemplates pulling from long range on the right wing. Instead, he works inside, up, under, and through multiple defenders. Foster's cut the deficit down to 2. Here's Josh Brewer, one of the leaders of this team, into Robinson, and Robinson struggles inside. He's fouled by Turner, coming around the backside. Dominic Washington and Josh Brewer are the leaders of this Boys and Girls Club team. 2 years ago, they led a team called Magnolia Green Grooming Company, and they couldn't quite finish out the job in the championship game, but they got there. And then last year, Big Brothers Big Sisters was the team that went 1-3, struggled with chemistry issues, and Brewer and Washington now back at it with Boys and Girls Club, looking to win a championship or at least get back to that level this season. 2 free throws go down, and it's 13-9 in favor of Boys and Girls Club. Xavier Turner will take the ball up the floor for Prodigy. You see that aggression in the backcourt already. Boys and Girls Club seeking disruption. And now Foster pulls from 3. That one's off the back rim. Well done by Travis Buggs. First time we've called his name with that rebounds. Triple off the mark again, and this time Boys and Girls Club takes advantage. We've seen plenty of triples early in this one, and Prodigy will look to slow it down to win in the half court.
Yeah, Andrew, I think Prodigy right now, as you see, I mean, they're trying to be ultra aggressive. They're trying to beat you with the shots. They're taking shots from out here. It looks like the volleyball line significantly farther back than just the three-point line. Trying to win with shooting. It's going to be a difficult game if the first 7 minutes are any sign of what's to come.
Absolutely. They put a foul on Turner, and it's Jesse Bingham able to toss the ball down, and that'll extend the lead for Boys and Girls Club. Foster not having it. He cancels out that bucket straight away.
It's the second bucket from Greg Foster, where he's just using all of his strength there. Just so tough to guard downhill.
Here comes Robinson once again. The crowd getting into it. Boys and Girls Club, every trip down the floor, able to get to the basket with that physicality, with that aggression. That's going to be their calling card all season, and it's played in their favor so far. And you mentioned how Prodigy's going to have to make shots, and they're just missing triples from the outside and letting open triples for Boys and Girls Club. They can't quite take advantage, but there's that size down low. Jacoby Robinson, in 2023 all-defense team of the GLVC conference at UIndy. He's another one of those wings with size, and Turner knocks it down from deep. They're trading triples, and now Prodigy seems to be in the right place, and you see Foster crossing the timeline and immediately looking to the new addition in Turner. This time he finishes on his own down low.
Well, if you have Xavier Turner hitting shots from deep at a high percentage and Greg Foster with the ability to go downhill, I mean, this team can be lethal at the guard position.
And it seems like Boys and Girls Club has the advantage down low for the most part. 2 minutes left here in the first period. Prodigy working back into the deficit, but Boys and Girls Club continuing to make shots. And Boys and Girls Club making some subs. Looks like it was Robinson calling for it. He's put plenty of effort in early on in this one. And he's looking for someone to take his place. Brewer misfires. Rebound by Buggs. He tosses it to Turner. And he pulls from deep, and that one rattles out. Turner certainly has the handles to work his way inside, but Boys and Girls Club has done a good job walling off the interior, forcing Turner to resort to the triple. Fortunately for him, that's a great spot for him as well, but Boys and Girls Club is making those shots on the other side. 1 minute left to play in the first. And this time, Foster takes it to the hole and one. And he will head to the free throw line. And this running clock here at the City League will continue to wane as everyone has one opportunity at last to take a deep breath.
Greg Foster again. When he puts his head down, Andrew, he really can do just about anything, get past just about anyone here in the City League. He's been able to do that for the past couple of years. Greg Foster, just one of the best hoopers here in the Indy area and putting it on display at the City League.
Absolutely, and his will to win is nearly unmatched. There are few players at the City League. I mean, Portia Green on the women's side comes to mind as someone who just is putting it all out there to win a championship, and Foster is one of those leaders on the men's side. And you can see it each and every night. Air ball this time, rebounded by Prodigy Sports Network. Down three, and a deep shot at the buzzer nearly drops, but it'll be a 24-21 lead for Boys and Girls Club at the moment. We'll take a quick break on TCL Live and be back in a moment for the resumption of action at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Welcome back to City League Live for the second period, and a block straight away. No shortage of action inside Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. That time it's going to be a foul. Start of the second period, Boys and Girls Club leads Prodigy Sports Network 24-21. And this running clock will continue. This is just game one of night one of a whole summer of phenomenal basketball inside this building.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning, the City League it's always a fun time in the city of Indianapolis when the City League is back. And, you know, Wednesday and Thursday nights here, you know, 6 and 7 p.m. respectively. This is the place to be if you love basketball, if you love hoops, and especially watching and listening. You can always do that here.
Foster has it on the right wing, works inside, and that one's intercepted. Working back the other way is Davion Bell, the UIndy football standout, and he pulls from the elbow. Turner on his way down. The putback goes. Incredible effort from Turner. He was the star of that 0-4 elevated Indianapolis team, but the difficult schedule certainly played a role in the struggles early. Lots of action at the rim. And now Turner on the block, up, under, and good with the foul.
Andrew, if you can get Xavier Turner and Greg Foster working at that same high level as we saw in years past, this team can be very, very dangerous, not only behind the three-point line, but right there you saw Xavier Turner go up, finish strong with the right hand. If he's able to do that, this team can beat you in multiple ways. I think right now where they lack some size down low. We'll see if Boys and Girls Club can take advantage of that here, maybe in the second quarter, but also in the second half if that really gets to Prodigy.
Absolutely. And, Brooks, we were speaking about it before we went on air, and honestly, I can't believe I haven't mentioned it yet, but Prodigy Sports Network playing after a couple of late scratches to their roster really derailed the start of the season. We saw Aaron Henry unable to play just because he had a slight injury issue, and he's making so much overseas professionally that he didn't want to risk it coming to the City League. Makes perfect sense considering that there's some greater basketball obligations in his life. And we also saw Gary McGee, who's fortunate enough to take a job with the Timberwolves up for the Summer League. Those are two of those bigger, more sizable players in the front court for Prodigy Sports Network that as recently as a few days ago, Foster had to really scramble to find more players, and we'll see who ends up putting on the blue jersey for Prodigy Sports Network over the course of the rest of the summer. And right now they seem to be certainly managing the situation well, down by just 3 against Boys and Girls Club at this time. Now at 6 with that triple. That's Jalen Wyndham. The leading scorer on the 2024 state championship team with Ben Davis here in Indianapolis as a sophomore. He's one of those young players. It's a new wave of a young generation at the City League, and Wyndham is very much a part of it. Foster can't finish at the rim. Now Boys and Girls Club working back the other way. Quick triple. That could really extend the lead, and it does. Boys and Girls Club, with a swift run, extends it to 9. And a dunk on the other end will cut it back to 7. But Boys and Girls Club is in control early. Good contest that time by Prodigy. Turner and Foster looking to push the pace. Foster works inside against Schmatz. And we have a timeout with 5:34 on the clock, with a 35-30 scoreline as Boys and Girls Club really collapses defensively that time. Jacob Schmatz, another one of those football players, a former defensive lineman. We'll take a quick break here on TCL Live. We'll be back after the timeout. Welcome back to the City League Live. We're back after the timeout. Looks like a brief clock dispute. The officials will convene at the scorers table to figure this situation out. And we see a new player on the court for Prodigy Sports Network. Number 4 there, down low. Stretching, just walked in. Not sure if this is one of the players that was already on the roster. We don't have a number 4 on our official rosters at the moment. But obviously there is a number 4 on Prodigy Sports Network. So we'll update you as soon as we possibly can in that regard. Remember, this Prodigy Sports Network team had some roster volatility as recently as a few days ago. Boys and Girls Club with the basketball, out of the timeout. And once again, it's that size winning down low. Sometimes it's simply as simple as that. Here's Foster working downhill once again, up, under, and good. And a 2-on-1 on the other end for Boys and Girls Club in transition is successful. Again, there's so much size and so much physicality with Boys and Girls Club that you would think that the goal would be to disrupt at the perimeter and push the pace back in the other direction, and that seems to be exactly what's happening for this Boys and Girls Club team. We see a foul that sends Turner to the line after the bucket. But Boys and Girls Club winning in transition, winning in pace, and that's a huge reason why they're in the lead with 4.5 minutes left to go in period 2.
Well, Dominic Washington for Boys and Girls Club, that was back-to-back Great finishes at the rim for him. He has the ball right now. But if he can do that and execute the pick and roll, Boys and Girls Club can just continue to maintain their lead.
Here's Foster in transition. 1 on 3 and the foul. 1 on 3 for Greg Foster, and the basket counts. That's a job well done by the team captain. Foster's going to will this team back into this game and could will this team to a win in game 1 of night 1. He did it plenty of times last season, again, in that championship game run. Well, obviously, they ended up the runners-up, losing to Press Play Gaming Lounge. The free throw drops through as well. 3.5 minutes left in period number 2. Here's Davion Bell working downhill. He hands it off to Dominic Washington, and yet again, it's Washington. And Bell has some words for Turner. Bell now with words for the officials. The two small guards that wear number 1 getting after it early on. Up comes Boys and Girls Club. Looks like there was a hand on it that time, and the insertion of size for Prodigy Sports Network has certainly played a role in their improvement over the course of this game. And Foster this time has his pocket picks. Brewer into Robinson, and Robinson is up, under, and through. Once again, Boys and Girls Club in transition, succeeding in that realm of the basketball game. Turner drops Bell, and they'll send it back the other way. Turner's upset about it. Turner has words for the official, Brooks. He's saying that the game's not exactly being called both ways, or at least that the majority of the calls between Turner and Bell are going against Turner. Here's Bell working downhill. Looks like he fell on his own that time. And Turner will have the basketball back. Some will say ball don't lie. Off the screen, Turner drops one from deep. And he taps Bell on the head. There's a little rivalry early. Conversation's not over between those two. There's a shot from Washington off the mark. Rebound to Brewer, and Brewer lofts it up, under, and through. Again, with the addition of number 4, he's facing a little bit more size down low. And here's the full court press. This is a fun one. Foster coast to coast. That's 2 more for Prodigy. The deficit is now 2 points with a minute left in period number 2. Whistle on the floor. Looks like some substitutions. It's going to be Jesse Bingham re-entering the contest with just a few seconds left in the second period. Turner's going to go coast to coast against Bell. Bell still talking to him. Straight down the lane. That time it's a little bit too strong. Boys and Girls Club in transition. Intercepted by Foster, and Turner lifts it into the basket. He was lagging a little bit behind defensively, put him in perfect position for that transition bucket. Brewer launches from 3. Not quite there. It's a tie ball game. Foster with the opportunity to take the lead into the half. Turner from deep. He got it. And Prodigy Sports Network has stolen the lead right at the buzzer of period number 2. Greg Foster and Xavier Turner clap hands in celebration. What a second period.
Well, folks at home, if you are watching this game right now, Xavier Turner against Davion Bell from Boys and Girls Club. Fascinating matchup, the two going at it, but Xavier Turner with some big buckets down the stretch there. And what felt like, the first quarter largely dominated by Boys and Girls Club. Prodigy made a late surge in that second quarter and now go into the half up 3. Again, the City League, this being the first game, just so exciting to see guys going back and forth and at it here on the court in the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center.
Absolutely, and we still have 20 minutes more of basketball here, 20 minutes more of basketball between Turner and Bell. How far could this rivalry spin out of control? We await the answer to that question, among others. 4 minutes on the halftime break clock. We'll be back in a moment on the City League Live for the second half between these two teams. Welcome back to the opening night of the City League season in 2026. You're watching TCL live as we are starting the second half. And the first game of night one, this is between Prodigy Sports Network and Boys and Girls Club. Boys and Girls Club led the majority of the first half, but Prodigy Sports Network really surged ahead there towards the ends. And Brooks, we were talking about it during the break. Xavier Turner, 20 points. Greg Foster, 22. They combined for 42 of this team's 48 points. It really is a star-driven show on the side of Prodigy Sports Network.
Well, yeah, Prodigy has arguably one of the best, if not the best, backcourt in the entire City League. But other than that, you know, they need some step-in, some buy-in from the rest of the squad here if they want to keep their lead. Remember, they took the lead in just the last dying seconds of that first half. If they want to keep it, they have to find some consistency elsewhere.
Absolutely. We start the second half, and it's Davion Bell going coast to coast. Something of a block there from number 4, Shiloh Jackson. He was the new addition. Foster pulls from long range. That's off the back rim. And rebounded by Bell. Seeking redemption. Considers a triple. Then finds Brewer. Some good ball movement, but it isn't converted into a bucket. So now Turner will push against his newly crowned rival in Davion Bell. Bell is a jolt on defense for Boys and Girls Club. But there's a triple. That time from Vashawn Daniels Jr. to extend the Prodigy lead. Daniel Jr. fouls that time. Tyler Bibbs, rather, fouls that time. While Jesse Bingham goes up, and he'll shoot the free throws in response. So we talked about how Prodigy Sports Network didn't start with as much size. You see Tyler Bibbs step in, Vashawn Daniels Jr. off the bench. Shiloh Jackson steps onto the court. He got here a little late. And all of a sudden, this Prodigy Sports Network team can compete a little bit more in the front court, and that's contributed to their sudden lead. Here's Jackson inside, working against Brewer. He's blocked that time. And now here's Bingham working back the other way. Bell all alone, up under and good, and Boys and Girls Club is right back in it. Turner working against Bell. The steal from Bell, and there's that jolt on defense. Turner wants a foul. He's pleading for it. We've got a close one now. Bill working downhill immediately. Hard contacts, and another foul called. Bell went straight at him. Now a few more smiles than scowls between Bell and Turner. But extended conversations nonetheless. This one's going to come down to the wire. And remember, it's the Elam ending at the City League, so it's not going to be, it has to be a final shot.
And the Elam ending makes just the fourth quarter, I guess now, that much more interesting. You have to win on a final shot. And always gets chippy and real competitive here in the Bonner Center.
Makes defense all the more important, too. And also down the stretch here, every possession is going to matter quite a bit because if you just have a quick run and there's a 9-point lead, that completely changes the math with the Elam ending rather than a 2-point deficit. It's a triple for Prodigy. And missed bunnies like that one from Bingham are not going to help the Boys and Girls Club comeback. Here's Turner working inside. There are those unbelievable handles showing themselves once again. Working against Bell, he drops him. He knocks the shot down over his head. Bell wants a foul. The Prodigy is up 6. Brewer throws it into the backcourt, but they say that Foster tipped it. And here's a triple try. That one's good. This one is most definitely going to come down to the wire between Boys and Girls Club and Prodigy Sports Network, and Brooks is just game one. Foster loses it, and it's Davion Bell once again all alone. He's been great about jumping out in transition. More words between him and Turner. Bell is guarding him all the way up and down the floor, but meanwhile on the other end it's Travis Buggs with a triple. Now Turner's pass is intercepted by Bell once again. Turner can't get back there. One more pass. And that one rattles off the rim of the backboard, but an offensive rebound once again for Boys and Girls Club, and a bucket as a result. It's Jacoby Robinson. He's been phenomenal on the boards. Turner now long two. Made it, and that is just another element of the bag of Xavier Turner that is bewildering. Brewer creates space, knocks down the triple.
Andrew, the back and forth in this game right now. No lead bigger than 4 in the last quarter almost. And Xavier Turner and Greg Foster just carrying Prodigy right now. They still are defending a lead.
Unbelievably, and we've seen some different looks defensively against Turner, but you saw that long two there, that fadeaway jumper. It was unbelievable. We saw the handles working down the lane a couple possessions prior. It doesn't matter who you throw on Xavier Turner. It's going to be borderline impossible to stop him. But honestly, if there's anyone defensively in the backcourt that could, it's Davion Bell, as we've seen. That one rattles in. Basketball took a second to make up its mind, but ultimately decided to hand Boys and Girls Club the lead with 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. There's a long two for Prodigy. That one rattles off, and once again, Boys and Girls Club wins the battle for the rebounds. Brewer on the left wing. Here comes Robinson. It's swatted away. Brewer back up. So many second chances for Boys and Girls Club. That's going to be one reason why they win this game. If they win this game, another offensive rebounds. Robinson all over the glass, and he's rewarded for it with a couple more points to his tally. Foster seeks a response. He works inside to the elbow. Back out to Daniels Jr. One's off the back rim. Davion Bell pushes the pace. He runs out of room, and the push shot is off the mark, rebounded by Foster. Coast to coast, and he lays it in.
Unreal extension there from Greg Foster.
Sometimes you forget how long and athletic these players are if they don't reveal it for an extended period of time, but Foster reminds the entire arena of who he is and what he's capable of. We've got a whistle on the floor that time on the take. 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Well, Boys and Girls Club has built their lead here now and rather gotten it back from pushing the ball in transition, getting the open shot. And also, they've been incredibly efficient here in this third quarter.
Absolutely. It's Jalen Wyndham at the line. He had 3 first half points. 6 rebounds in the first half for Robinson, notably. He missed one and he made one, so it's a 3-point lead. Blindingly fast pace for Prodigy Sports Network. They literally lost control of the ball because of it. And Foster is fouled on the way to the basket. That one nearly dropped in, but instead he'll take 2 free throws. About a minute, so this could be all we see in the third quarter as Foster takes his free throws.
Well, Greg Foster, what Prodigy has been able to do just so well is get a high ball screen right for Greg Foster and have him be able to work on it. So Prodigy, they've had the pick and roll, they've had the pick and pop, and they've also had the Greg Foster show. Again, we've seen it for years and years, just the impact Greg Foster has. But again, here tonight, game one of the City League season, he's putting it on display for Prodigy.
He played his high school ball just yards away at Indianapolis Arsenal Tech High School. Bonner Fitness and Learning Center sits in the backyard of that school. We can see the goalposts of the football stadium from where we're sitting. You see Brewer look to hand it off late, and yet again, underneath the basket, Prodigy Sports Network can't take advantage defensively. A missed triple, and at last a defensive rebound. Turner's going to have to push the pace. Washington goes to stop the ball. Can't quite, in the half-court shot from Xavier Turner drops. An unbelievable start to the City League season, and we're not done yet in game one.
What a move from Xavier Turner off of the spin and just hoisting it up. Unreal. And yet, I mean, that's the lead again. Did the same thing at the end of the second quarter, snatched the lead in just the final seconds, but this is the quarter that really matters. Andrew, you touched on it, but the Elam ending, you know, you have to win with a bucket here. Just make it that much more exciting. This game has had it all. They've had back and forth. It's been a lot of shots, a lot of exciting basketball, even a little rivalry brewing between Xavier Turner and Davion Bell, but to have a one-point game going into the fourth, you know, sometimes you don't see that here in the City League. Sometimes you see dominant showings, dominant performances from some teams, but in the opening game, it's really nice to have a close and competitive matchup here on night one.
Absolutely. It's so fast. It's such a quick contest, and sometimes one team is shooting well, the other team isn't, and that's just it. The game's over, especially in the regular season. But both teams are firing on all cylinders here to start the season tonight. Certainly no slow starts for either side. You're absolutely right. This one has been quite a bit of fun. We'll let you know what the target score is when we receive it. But for now, it's 67-66 with about 10 minutes left to play in this contest.
9 is the magic number with the Elam ending.
Foster lets the ball roll all the way across the timeline before allowing the clock to stop, so saved about 10 seconds there. Turner's working against Washington, a distinct size advantage this time. Turner pulls up for a long two. That one rims out. Well done by Washington. Now it's Bingham inside, swiped away by Turner. He's done it all alongside Foster. And an open shot for Foster from three drops. It's now a two-possession difference because of that triple and the buzzer beater from half court from Turner.
You cannot give Greg Foster that much room, especially here in the fourth quarter. You do, you get burned just like that.
And there's Brewer responding with a triple of his own. It's Brewer and Washington, the leaders of this Boys and Girls Club team, against Foster, and of course Xavier Turner, the leaders on the other side. And the rosters the fill-in around them, and that's going to be a foul as Turner drops to the floor. That'll go on Brewer. Turner tosses it into Foster. And you can tell that Turner and Foster are the two, by far, leading scorers on this Prodigy Sports Network team. There's an air ball from Foster, though, because both players, as soon as they receive the basketball, if they're thinking about passing, it's immediately their head whips to the other. Foster looks for Turner, Turner looks to Foster. They trust one another, even though they were only on the same team as recently as today in terms of playing in live games with the City League. Washington in the right corner, working down the baseline, hands it off to Schmatz. That one's going to be blocked by Bibbs. And Turner, an open triple off the pass from Foster. He got it.
Too much room for Turner. You know, two guys on this roster that you cannot give an inch to. You know, the old saying, you give an inch, they take a mile, but those two, Foster and Turner, really have the entire game. You know, at the half, they had 42 combined out of the 48, and they've continued their dominance here in the second half.
Turner just picked up his fourth foul. Carry on.
You know, I would hate to say that obviously this is the first game, but Prodigy, they seem very two-dimensional, but their star, you know, they love the stars here in Turner and Foster. And the offense really runs through those two guys. And like you've mentioned throughout the entire game, obviously this is a roster that had one direction at the beginning of the week, but Greg Foster had to shift after some late opt-outs. Now we're seeing the new look team here in game one.
The new look team that is clinging to a 2-point lead here. Turner misfires that time. Here's the Boys and Girls Club's opportunity to flip the momentum. These are the critical minutes of the game as Turner accepts the benefit of the turnover. Here's Bibbs, runs out of room against Bingham. It's back up to Foster. Foster works off the screen. And Turner's open in the corner. Wide open, he knocks it down. Off balance, unbelievable. Here's Brewer, top of the key, stumbles for a second. Works inside, up under, off the mark. Foster clears the glass. Unbelievable handles from Foster this time. He feeds Bibbs inside. It's turned over. The pace is quickening. It's a 3-on-1. And Bingham lays it home. Foster working inside, up under, and he's fouled. And at last, these teams will have an opportunity to take a deep breath once again. Someone's got to tell Greg Foster that it's just opening night and it's not a continuation of the championship game from last year. It's certainly how it feels at the moment with his effort, but it's just a testament to how much he cares and how much he's striving to win a championship here at the City League.
And you know, I've seen Greg Foster play for, you know, a number of years, and he's always been this way. He has that competitive edge that you really want in a basketball player. And he shows it year in and year out here at the City League. One of the most physical basketball players you will see, but man, is he good. Absolutely, and he'll make both free throws there to extend the lead to 5. 4.5 minutes to go. We'll have the Elam ending in the near future. And again, these are the critical minutes because a run right here, if Prodigy can extend this lead to 10 or 12, then it'll be so much more difficult with the Elam ending for Boys and Girls Club to swing the result back. And Foster might be starting that process right now. They've got a 5-on-4. Here's Shiloh Jackson inside. He's fouled, and he'll have 2 free throws as well. And that Elam ending is creeping ever closer. They stop the clock now to put this Elam ending on the board. The target score. We see the first free throw fall. I imagine they'll put the target score on after these free throws because the foul occurred before they hit 4 minutes. Misses that one, rebound to Brewer. And a whistle on the floor. We've reached the end of the portion of our game. Our target score is 88.
88 is the target score. That's the number that these two teams are racing for. So you add 9 to the leading team's score. Once there are 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and that's how this game will be decided.
Well, Andrew, also, this late run that we've seen from Prodigy really is going to help them. They're leading by 6 now. And remember, at the end of the third quarter, it was a late run in that almost half-court shot that has just drawn them back into the game every single time. And now they're really defending a 6-point lead. Target score of 88. They have a little bit of a head start on Boys and Girls Club.
It's as simple as the thought that Prodigy Sports Network, as the leading team, of course, has to score 9, and Boys and Girls Club has to score 15. And that's all there is to it. So especially with Foster and Turner and how effective they have been possession after possession, this is an offensive game which really favors the team that's leading by 6, obviously. But more so than usual because both teams are really having whatever they want on either end for a variety of reasons. Boys and Girls Club with the second chance points and offensive rebounds, and Prodigy simply because they have Turner and Foster in the backcourt. Here's Foster surveying his options. Working inside, kicks it out to Bibbs. Bibbs has that shot deflected, but then intercepts the transition pass the other way. Turner now working inside. It's off the mark and rebounded by Boys and Girls Club, and that most definitely should be a foul. Robinson got hit hard that time. But here's the question, can Boys and Girls Club continue to defend that way? Because in theory, this Prodigy team is only 3 buckets away, 3 triples away from a victory here on night 1. Some discussion at the scorers table. Every men's City League team will play 4 games over the course of the summer before, of course, the playoffs, culminating in championship nights on August 5th. So Turner now has 5 fouls. That is very significant. I'll admit, I didn't actually see whose arm came down on Robinson there. It was Turner's. He's discussing the game with Foster. They're going to need Turner for sure down the stretch. Here's Bell against Turner, working downhill. Turner got knocked away by a teammate, and it's those offensive rebounds once again for Boys and Girls Club.
3-point game, Andrew. It's never over here at the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center.
Foster misfires, and we just spoke about how significant that 6-point lead is. But if Boys and Girls Club erases it, then we're right back to an even basketball game. And Brewer lifts him 2 points closer to just that. Turner from deep. Needed that one. Need an offensive rebound a little bit more. Bibbs escapes the backcourt violation, and Turner now. Jackson wasn't ready for it. Turner couldn't go up because he was facing size, and Jackson, the size Prodigy Sports Network desperately needs, wasn't ready to receive the pass, and Bell steals the lead on the other end.
There's some energy in this gym.
Can Greg Foster carry the team on his back to a win on night 1? Here's Jackson seeking redemption. He pulls from long range. Needed that. Prodigy was in a drought. (81-80). Bell feeds Bingham inside. An unbelievable find. You see Bibbs just shake his head. Boys and Girls Club is 6 points away. Prodigy Sports Network is 7 points away. It might be a 1-possession final shot for the win. Foster can't quite reach the bucket that time. Bell slips, but he hands it off to Brewer, and that triple is a major difference in the results of this one. Prodigy Sports Network had a 6-point lead, and now they're down by 4, and that all occurred after we saw the target score hit the board. Turner in the backcourt. Bell sticking right by him. You can see the rivalry brewing between these two. Turner from way outside, he knocked it down. We got a game.
No threes can be allowed here.
You're right, a triple wins the game. Bell works inside, elevates, Foster with the rebounds. Barring a foul call, this team is still 2 buckets away. It's out of bounds, and much to the chagrin of Bell, that's going to stay with Prodigy. And based on Foster's body language, I think that call might be wrong. Foster doesn't seem to be refuting that claim too hard. Here's Turner with it. And he works off the screen. Another deep three. That one's just off. You can't have them all. A triple wins the game. Momentum on both sides at the moment. Here comes Bell working inside. Kicks it out. Robinson downhill now, and there's a foul. That might go on Perryman. It'll be on the floor. And that results in free throws. How's this one going to play out, Brooks?
Well, at the line here, obviously, he wants them both. But, I mean, back and forth, it seems like the entire game. What a physical and competitive game here in just the first game of the TCL season.
Timeout called by Boys and Girls Club after the first free throw, so 86-84. I was thinking over the course of that last sequence that it's just that Boys and Girls Club can't quite get the ball to a three-point shooter that can end the game, but to be honest, looking at the floor, I don't think I see one. Josh Brewer certainly is that three-point shooter. But Boys and Girls Club has made their money in this game off of rebounds down low, second chance points,
and
putbacks.
Definitely transition.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've won this, or they have gotten themselves into a position to win this game through transition and scoring and looking up the floor. They've been so lethal in that first pass and moving the ball with some tempo. I think right now for Prodigy, they're only looking at 2 guys. And, you know, why wouldn't they, considering the way Xavier Turner and Greg Foster have been playing in this game? But you're going to need a little bit more than that to win this one. They got to dig deep here. 88 is the target score. 86-84 the current score. So the next bucket really can win it for Boys and Girls Club, regardless of if this free throw goes in or not.
One of those matchups that you watch and just pray that you see it again in the postseason. We're not desensitized yet, though, because just about every matchup at the City League feels this exact way. Here's Robinson at the line. He makes the second one. So Boys and Girls Club is 1 point away. Prodigy's 4 points, and therefore probably 2 possessions away. They're going to need a bucket here. Robinson looking for the steal. And he finds it. Boys and Girls Club with an opportunity to end it. Davion Bell drops it through, and Boys and Girls Club is the first team to reach 1-0 at the City League in 2026.
The turnover and the transition again. Boys and Girls Club's just so good today in looking up the floor, moving with pace. Xavier Turner might have gotten the better of Davion Bell in terms of point scoring, but no bucket more clutch than that one from Bell. I think his role today was being that junkyard dog, getting the hand in almost every passing lane, moving with pace, but also being that guy that ties this entire lineup together, going 1-0 in this first game. What a game we just saw, Andrew.
And that's just the first one.
Just the first one. 2 more here tonight. But yeah, could not be more excited for the rest of the City League season if Game 1 is any indication of what we're going to see here in 2026.
Absolutely. We'll get started with Game 2 between Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder in just a moment. But before we go off air, the one thing that Big Brothers Big Sisters team didn't quite have last year was kind of that chemistry and was that jolt. And Davion Bell is the addition that perhaps is providing that jolt, as you mentioned. All of the traits that he just displayed throughout this contest through adversity against Xavier Turner, probably the quickest guard in the league, maybe the best guard in the league. And it's Boys and Girls Club that is 1-0 after Prodigy Sports Network falls. Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder on the other side, on the men's side of the league, and then we'll get our first women's game between NBA Math Hoops and Elevate Indianapolis to round out the evening a little bit later on. You're watching TCL Live. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in a moment. Welcome back to the City League Live. We're here for Game 2 of Night 1 of the City League on opening night. We just saw Boys and Girls Club take the win over Prodigy Sports Network, and now we have Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder on the men's side. It's the last men's game of the evening. Prudential, the squad that in 2024 ran the table and won the championship. Indianapolis Recorder, the sponsor of the team that was formerly led by Greg Foster to the championship. This is a whole new look squad. Prudential wins the tip, and a scramble for it under the basket leads to, at last, a Prudential bucket. Andrew Garrison and Brooks White with you for night 1 of the City League. Prudential leads 2-0 in Game 2.
No, Andrew, I mean, I'm just so excited for Game 2. If Game 1 was that competitive here, hopefully it stays consistent here in the City League. Obviously, like you said, Indianapolis Recorder, not the same squad as last year. Same sponsor, but different squad. A lot of younger guys and maybe less experienced guys, but also guys willing to put it on the line here in the City League.
Indianapolis Recorder inside with the first bucket of the contest for the team in yellow. Some big names here at the City League. That one intercepted by Mike Saunders Jr. He's going to be a major piece of this backcourt. And again, Indianapolis Recorder in transition, able to make magic happen. Saunders Jr., one of those anchors on the perimeter, number 7 in yellow for Indianapolis Recorder. TJ Hughes off the mark. Some missed baskets on the glass, perhaps some early season jitters between these two teams. And it's William Avance, that solid point guard that's going to provide some leadership, especially off the bench, laying it in for Prudential. Saunders Jr. from long range, just off the front of the rim, but he's dangerous from that location. Here's Avance running the point. A great court marshal, a great court general. One's out of bounds, and it's going to stay on the other side there with Indianapolis Recorder.
Well, yeah, Andrew, both teams here, obviously, a lot of turnovers, kind of some sloppy basketball to start the game, but have to settle in and get ready because playing a lot of basketball here tonight, 4 quarters, but remember that last quarter, if you just watched it, ends in the Elam ending. Very competitive, very fast-paced, very physical basketball here at the City League.
Yeah, no doubt. Foul that time as DJ Hughes went up with it. Hughes is a former teammate of Tony Perkins at Lawrence North. Perkins played for BBM Tax Service at the City League last year. He's back again this year. We'll see him tomorrow night. Hughes spent 2 years at Butler, then went out to East Tennessee State. He's a low down low, and you can tell with that possession a moment ago. His first free throw is off the front of the rim. Misses the second one as well. Rebounded by Indianapolis Recorder. Here's a long three. That one airballed by Britton Watts. Back the other way. Avance hands it off to Chandler, and Chandler knocks it down from 3. Recorder has been efficient, I'd say, in transition. Efficient overall, effective. This is a team with not as much D1 or pro experience compared to Prudential and many other teams. But it's possessions. Oh, it's goaltending. It's possessions like that, though, that look great, quick and successful.
Yeah, that ball did not leave the rim. Still a super cool move there, but unfortunately does not count.
There's a triple from Tillman. Here's Saunders seeking a response. Someone's off the front of the rim from Saunders Jr. It'll be rebounded by Boyd. Jamel Boyd, Michael Tillman, A.J. Lawton, 3 of the 4 components of the core that ran the table and won the championship in 2024. They're all together once again under the name Prudential. There's Tillman with the basketball, and it'll be rolled around. It's a kickball violation. It'll go back towards Indianapolis Record.
That was great team basketball from Prudential there. Looking for the quick passes. They're looking to beat the defense with the pass there rather than the dribble. Kickball violation, but they'll keep the ball. We'll see if that will continue for the rest of the night.
Tillman misfires that time. Saunders Jr. working inside, laying it up and in.
That's a finish with some contact, too, from Saunders Jr.
And he's the one who picks up the steal. Saunders Jr. leading the way for this Indianapolis Recorder team. That's 4 straight points in surely almost 10 seconds. Avance looks for the rebound, but it's Indianapolis Recorder back with it, with the 2-point lead here in the first quarter. To the block goes Saunders Jr. Back out into the corner. And the ball finds to the hands of Saunders Jr. once again, but it's Jamel Boyd with the block. A heads-up play by the experienced veteran. Now a 3-on-2 for Prudential. Got to score in this situation. Tillman relinquishes the basketball, works inside, and it's Boyd off the glass and through.
Again, beating you at the pass. Prudential. They have some team chemistry as a unit, but here in game 1, putting it on display. I should say game 2 on the year, but game 1 for both of these teams. Exciting opening night here at the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center for another season of the City League. We saw a great opening game, now in game number 2 of 3, so could not be more excited to be here with you, Andrew. And to keep this going, Indianapolis and Indiana, a city and a state that loves basketball.
Absolutely. This time last year, there was a professional basketball team deep in a finals run when we were here at the City League. If I'm not mistaken, Game 6 of the NBA Finals occurred while we were here.
Yeah, I remember watching it and driving back from the City League, Game 6, just knowing that I was in the city at the same time as it happened. But again, this is a state that loves its basketball, and Indianapolis has so much good basketball talent on display, both the men's and the women's side. So if you enjoyed game number 1 that you just saw between Boys and Girls Club and Prodigy Sports Network that ended in that Elam ending winner, you have to continue to check out the City League all season long.
Right here on this YouTube page, every single game will be broadcast right here, at least until the championship game. We hand it off to Greg Rakestraw in ISC Sports Network for the final 2 games of the season. And, of course, the City League podcast each and every week, recapping the action and previewing the next week's slate. 16-14 is the score. Tillman knocks down a triple. He's feeling it now. A slight lead for Prudential towards the end of the first quarter. And there's an intercepted pass by Britton Watts. Tillman in transition back the other way. He doesn't have numbers, but he has a teammate. He has multiple teammates. Avance picks up the loose ball. Flips it back out to Robinson, and Robinson, Gibson Jr. knocks it down. Very well done. 1 second left. I don't think he got it off. It doesn't matter. 20-16 is the score at the end of the first quarter. Prudential, the more experienced squad, with the lead. We'll be back in a moment on the City League Live for the second quarter between Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder. Welcome back to the City League Live, the second quarter between Indianapolis Recorder and Prudential. Prudential with a 4-point lead early on. Andrew Garrison and Brooks White with you for game 2 of night 1 and game 1 between these two teams. A shot clock violation that time as Prudential played well around the perimeter. And Indianapolis Recorder will lose the opportunity to cut into the deficit.
Well, Prudential, they're playing like a team who has played as a group together before. A lot of quick passes, a lot of good defense, and a lot of good shooting.
Absolutely. 9 minutes left to go, and Prudential with another triple to add to the lead. Saunders Jr. fouled on the way.
It's a great take from Saunders Jr. Really, really aggressive. When you're a player like Saunders, you have to claw back into this game just a little bit. I know it's early, still here in the second, but he is the guy who's kind of breathing life into this Indianapolis Recorder lineup. You have to think of him as almost the X factor here for Recorder, at least so far.
Robbie Johnson to Michael Tillman. Tillman misses that time, but he grabs his own rebounds. Back to Johnson, now over to Humphrey Jr., and he lays it in. Prudential with command and control over this contest despite the fast start from Indianapolis Recorder. There's Chase Newton with it. Now Saunders Jr. The ball reaches him like a magnet each and every possession. And I would say like a magnet from his hands to the bottom of the net. Not that time. It's a triple try for Prudential once again. Not quite there. Wow, well done by Newton. Working past the defense, but Indianapolis Recorder can't finish at the basket. And again, this Prudential team is superior in terms of D1 and pro experience, and Indianapolis Recorder is not going to be able to make an upset happen here if they're missing shots like that. Prudential, though, can't punish on the other ends. Michael Tillman with a nasty block down low. Prudential clearly the superior team in this contest so far, but if Saunders Jr. and the Indianapolis Recorder team can win on the margins, possession after possession, you never know what can happen late. Here's Saunders Jr. now working into the lane. Yet another whistle. That time he can't get the bucket to fall anyway. Well, Saunders Jr. had 10 starts as a freshman at the University of Cincinnati as a 6-foot guard. In his sophomore year at Cincinnati, he had 20 points in a game that turned out to be a win against, at the time, number 14 Illinois. So Saunders Jr., no stranger to big moments and no stranger to taking over games with big moments. And based on his performance so far, you may not be surprised to hear that he spent last year with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Tell you what, the community definitely came out to watch the City League here tonight. It's a loud gym and definitely filled with a lot of basketball fans excited for this season, the 2026 season of the City League.
You're right, the gym is abuzz. It's DJ Hughes who slams it down that time. He's a major piece of this Prudential team in terms of its size. And Prudential just extending the gap here. You can tell that one of these teams had an undefeated championship run in the last 2 years. And the other one is primarily composed of young players. But the Indianapolis Recorder fighting hard and playing well. That one's off the mark from Fudge Moore. And Prudential receives the whistle. That time, Aaron Humphrey Jr. is going to take a trip to the line. Humphrey Jr. sinks the first. Mike Saunders Jr., the junior league, I suppose, or the little brother of the City League, is the Pivot League, which occurred in the spring. And Mike Saunders Jr. is fresh off that win with teammate Pretend Watts. Both Pivot League champions here in Indianapolis. And Mike Saunders Jr. looking to translate that winning to Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Finds a teammate in Gowdy, who knocks down a triple. The lights are out and back on in time for a quick bucket from Prudential. Prudential not done yet, quickening the pace and again misfiring that time. Jordan Worley in the game for Prudential as well. 6'5". He's ready to come off the bench and really make a difference in the front court. You can see it right there. A strong steal, just took it right out of the opponent's hands. Worley playing hard already. The triple falls anyway for Indianapolis Recorder. And a timeout is called with 3 minutes left to go here in the second period. We'll be back in a moment on TCL Live as action resumes. Jordan Worley making an impact in the front court already for Prudential. Welcome back to the City League Live. We're back for Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder. Prudential leads this one 33-22. Not for long, 33-24. Here's Michael Tillman with the basketball for Prudential. Inside Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. This one intercepted by Indianapolis Recorder. This is when this team is at its best if it can finish at the rim at the end of possessions. That time not quite able to take advantage of the fast break, but Mike Saunders Jr. in the paint, pulls up, not quite there. And again, they had numbers, they had the fast break opportunity, but not able to turn that into points. They're playing well in transition, they're playing well on defense, but in the scoring department, Indianapolis Recorder lags significantly further behind the more experienced Prudential team. Here's Tillman at the top of the key. He'll hand it off to Chandler. And Prudential comes up empty on that possession. Here comes Saunders Jr. to the block, off the glass and off the mark. Recorder looking to turn that into second chance points. Again, not quite there. And this is an example of one of those games at the City League where one team's shooting well, one team is playing well across the board, and the other just can't quite get the shots to fall. And with an Elam ending and with games that end as quickly as these, and with defense like that from Prudential, it's going to become increasingly more difficult for Indianapolis Recorder to work their way back into this one. Jordan Worley is on the bench, and the paint is largely open. We'll see if Indianapolis Recorder can get inside. There's Saunders Jr. He does exactly that. Kicks it back out. Misfires, another second chance opportunity. And now Saunders Jr. in the corner, hand in his face. It's off the mark. Yet another offensive rebound. But a steal, and it's going back the other way for Prudential. Here's numbers, and Prudential scores with ease. So Prudential's fast breaks results in quick buckets. And Indianapolis Recorder on the other side doesn't have it even if there's three opportunities. That time an air ball. Out of bounds, it'll head towards Prudential. Final few seconds here in the period. A deep three for Prudential. That one is cash. And at the buzzer, it'll be a 38-24 lead. It's all Prudential in this one. We'll be back in a few for the continuation of Indianapolis Recorder and Prudential. Stay with us on the City League Live. This isn't the last game of the night either. We'll see the Queens of the Court take the court. A little bit later on, NBA Math Hoops and Elevated Indianapolis ready to tip off the women's season at the City League as well. Welcome back to the City League Live. It's game 2 of night 1 of the City League regular season, the second and last men's game of the evening. This time it's Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder. We saw Boys and Girls Club take a win against Prodigy Sports Network a moment ago. And now game 2 is set to begin. Prudential has a 14-point lead. Indianapolis Recorder has had some good moments on defense and in transition, but hasn't quite been able to finish at the basket in a variety of situations. And that's not the way you spring an upset.
Well, also, I mean, Prudential, we've talked about it throughout the entire broadcast, but they're playing like a team who has played together before. They're playing like a team with a lot of team chemistry. It's that extra pass. It's the looking up the floor. It's hitting the shots. And it's rebounding that's really separating Prudential from Indianapolis Recorder right now.
Absolutely. And, you know, I mentioned this exact phrase in the last half, but you can tell that one of these teams had an undefeated championship run 2 years ago. And there's another triple. That time it's the point guard, Avance. Avance is on this team primarily to run the point and provide some leadership, but he's proving that he can score himself as well and make an impact in that way. Saunders Jr. is with a triple to cancel it out. Avance with a big smile. Tosses it to Boyd. Boyd inside. Tillman now not quite able to get it to go, but then there's Boyd right there on the back ends to put it back up and in. Indianapolis Recorder looking to work into the deficit before this game gets too out of hand. Saunders Jr. lays it in. He's taken over this contest for Indianapolis Recorder. He had 11 first half points on 5 of 12 shooting. And there's a triple yet again. And Prudential is in a great position early. This team has the pieces, it has the core. As Indianapolis Recorder again struggles to finish at the basket, but this team with the pieces and the core to really make a run, but Prudential maybe under the radar, which is hard to really suggest. It's not one of those top teams that has a ton of unbelievable premier talent, one of those all-star squads like Prodigy Sports Network, who ironically we just saw lose. I'm not sure Prudential was considered to be within the top 3, but they're playing like the best team that we've seen in the City League so far, out of the 4 teams that have taken the court so far. Up comes Boyd. They swing the rock to the corner where Avance knocks down the triple, and it's a 20-point lead now as Prudential continues to hit shots.
Well, Andrew, it really is that extra pass. You look up the floor, and there is always a guy standing wide open. It seems like when Indianapolis Recorder gets a shot to go, it's taking almost all the energy out of them to get just a bucket. Whereas Prudential makes it look just so effortless here in the third quarter.
That's a great way to phrase it. Prudential is really having no trouble at all, facing little resistance to get to the basket and finish at the rim. And just like that, Saunders Jr. thinks he's going to have a wide open layup, and it's not there. And now Prudential on the other end turns it over. And Indianapolis Recorder will see if it can benefit from that situation. But Prudential firing on all cylinders. We're not always sure if a team's going to see all the puzzle pieces click into place on the very first night. These teams haven't seen each other. They haven't played with each other yet at the City League this season. That one rims out, and that's representative of the entire effort for Indianapolis Recorder. Sometimes in all the right spots, doing all the right things, but not always able to see the shots fall. Avance lays it in. Timeout called by Indianapolis Recorder, and for good reason. It's a 22-point deficit at this time with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. We'll be back in a moment on TCL Live when these two teams take the floor once again. The City League Live returns here on YouTube. Indianapolis Recorder and Prudential squaring off in Game 2 of Night 1 of the City League season. Mike Saunders Jr. will take the ball up the floor. His team is struggling to keep pace with Prudential, who is borderline running up the score at Indianapolis Recorder in the first game of both team seasons, and yet another misfire from Indianapolis Recorder. It's not necessarily to say that Prudential is so much stronger than Indianapolis Recorder. Sometimes it's just that one team's shooting well and one team's not, and on that night, there's not much the team that isn't shooting well can do to work back into the deficit, because these games happen quickly. There's a running clock. There just simply isn't time. There aren't enough breaks. There aren't enough opportunities to reset over the course of the contest, and as a result, you see one team with 55 points and another with 33, and now it's 56 with the made free throw. Everything seems to be going the way of Prudential right now in this one. Friendly rolls, friendly bounces. And it's the opposite for Indianapolis Recorder, who, again, in the right position, taking the right shots. The shot quality isn't poor at all, but just sometimes the shots aren't falling, and especially on the first night of the season for a young team, that's something that is acceptable and respectable. Still moving downhill, but again, not able to finish at the basket. An open lane, but nothing dropping for Indianapolis Recorder. And a contested triple for Prudential. That one's off the mark, but a rebound, the putback, and the foul. Simply a spectacular 3 quarters of basketball from Prudential so far. First shot off the mark, and the glass is cleared by Indianapolis Recorder. Working back in the other direction. Here's a corner triple. That one off the mark, and again, a rebound by Prudential. The other aspect of this is Prudential's rebounds. As Worley's now back in, he's looking to make an impact in the front court. He's not going to play the whole game. He's not going to play 40 minutes, but he'll step in for 10 or 15 and make an unrivaled impact in that time on the floor. And another foul. Indianapolis Recorder struggling to get the hands out of the wrong places on the defensive end.
That's definitely interesting, Andrew. In the NBA draft that's going on right now, Ryan Conwell just got selected, and he's going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Conwell, an Indianapolis native, so interesting to see a guy from the Circle City going to the NBA. Obviously, he spent his last year with Louisville, but always good to see an Indianapolis native doing well for himself on the big stage.
There's no doubt that many of the players on this court right here inside Bonner Fitness and Learning Center have NBA dreams of their own. Tillman with a long triple, got it. And in no time at all, this 20-point lead has become a 30-point lead, just about, 29 at the moment.
But it's a very deflative Indianapolis Recorder squad. They just seem to be getting beat up and down the court almost every single time, and he looked drained. Their body language, another air ball there. And Prudential.
There's an opportunity in transition to spark a comeback. That shot drops, thankfully, for Indianapolis Recorder. But you're right, and sometimes when they do everything right and they're in the right spot, the shot just doesn't fall. Not a great shooting night on the first night of the season for Indianapolis Recorder, but plenty of time to course correct over the course of the summer. Here's Hughes backing down with an advantage in size, an interception, and pushing the pace back the other way is Indianapolis Recorder. Tillman now with it as Prudential reverses possession. In comes Prudential into the paint. Sent back out to Gowdy. And there's Chase Newton off the mark on a triple. But Robbie Johnson works back the other way. He's on the left wing now, 45 seconds left. 64-37 the score, with the fourth quarter approaching. And Worley can't quite clear out that time, and it's out of bounds.
It's the right idea there for Prudential. Seems like today, whether it was game one or today in game two, the pick and roll has always been working. Just off the fingertips there.
Here's Tillman with it at the top of the key, 15 seconds. A deep three to extend the lead to 30. It's off the back of the rim, but a strong rebound by Hughes. And Hughes slaps it off of Indianapolis Recorder's Rashawn Rush. So Prudential keeps it, but the buzzer sounds. There's that running clock coming into play. That'll be the end of the third quarter. 64-37 is the lead for Prudential. 6 minutes away from the Elam ending taking effect, and it seems like it's all Prudential on the way to an early victory on night one of the season. We'll be back in a moment on the City League Live for the fourth quarter of this one between Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder. Welcome back to the City League Live. The fourth quarter between Prudential and Indianapolis Recorder on night one of the season is underway, and a triple right away from Prudential. They are just relentless at this time. The lead is now 30 points. They couldn't quite extend it to 30 at the end of the third quarter, but it takes no time at all to make it happen right here. There's a bucket for Indianapolis Recorder. Tillman inside, and that one drops through from in the paint. Saunders Jr. working inside to the free throw line. That one's an air ball. Worley scoops up the rebounds. In transition, Prudential loses it in the baseline. But Brooks, I think we have some Indianapolis basketball news, if you'd like to break it.
Yeah, the Pacers just traded into the second round. The Pacers did not have a pick before, and they traded for Purdue's Braden Smith, also Westfield native Braden Smith. He's going to be an Indiana Pacer. They traded him for Cam Jones, a future two-pick swaps, and some cash. So a lot given up, but the Pacers clearly believe in the Indianapolis native.
Westfield High School. Brooks, you and I were in high school when Braden Smith was decimating teams around the area in his senior year. Then he went off to Purdue, did great things there, and might just come back to Indianapolis to make more of an impact on the city.
Yeah, it's very cool to see two Indianapolis natives or Indy natives getting drafted into the NBA. Ryan Conwell, like we just mentioned, an Indianapolis guy, going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo's teammate in Miami. And then Braden Smith, an Indiana Pacer. You know, it feels very similar to what the Colts just did with Caden Curry. Not to get too off topic, but Indy guys getting drafted back into the Indianapolis respective sports teams. So very cool to keep that talent local.
Absolutely. And if I remember right, which I do, last year at the City League, we were here when Cam Jones was drafted to the Pacers, and I remember in a break in between games, that's a deep three from Tillman. It's off the mark and out of bounds. But I remember I was thrilled about Cam Jones. I loved watching him at Marquette. I thought he was awesome. I had for a while. Didn't watch much college basketball during his prime years, but Marquette was one of those teams that I did see very often. And Zach wasn't as sure, and I think that after a year we could probably say that Zach was more correct than me as I celebrated that pick, because Cam Jones isn't on the team anymore. But the second-round pick, guard out of Marquette, traded for later on a second-round pick guard, and Prudential is flying high. Mike Saunders Jr. with a pretty bucket on one end, but then Prudential just cancels it out right back with an emphatic dunk. And you're right, Indianapolis recorder is going to have to go back to the drawing board after this one. Saunders is fouled on the way. He'll head to the line. About 2.5 minutes away from the Elam ending number coming into effect. And at the moment, when that happens with 4 minutes left, the Indianapolis recorder will be 39 points away from victory, while Prudential will be just 9 points away. Saunders makes the first free throw. That'll change the math a little bit. And he makes the next as well. 2 minutes away from the Elam ending taking effect. It'll be the first dead ball after the 4-minute mark when that happens. So last game we, of course, saw it happen on free throws. Here's a triple from the corner for Prudential. Not quite there. There's a whistle and the foul on the floor. More Indianapolis basketball in action tonight. The Fever in this very city lead by 4 against the Phoenix Mercury. It's a fadeaway jumper for Prudential. That one's off the mark, but there's the putback and another second chance opportunity. Saunders from the left corner, off the rim. And now Vance pushing the pace back the other way. He's got it in the left corner. He'll take it himself. Again, usually he's the distributor. And this time he's going to take it to the rim himself, but still distribute. He takes the left corner triple. Great ball movement, all engineered by Vance. It's not a bucket yet. Second chance once again. That one's sent through by Aaron Humphrey Jr. 3 points in the first half, but he's made quite an impact in the second. "20 seconds away from the range in which the Elam ending target score could be put on the board. In comes Johnson, now Vance. Hands it off, Boyd, not quite able to knock it down. Next dead ball brings in the target score. That ball off the mark, and now Vance going to push the pace in transition. He has the handles, and he has the teammate in Aaron Humphrey Jr. That's 4 straight points for him. Prudential's in a great place, and that'll be the dead ball as that ball is hurled out of bounds. Prudential leads 80-48.
Yeah, this means it'll be 89. It'll be the Elam ending target score. Would be quite a comeback if Indianapolis recorder were to win this game, but seeing a second game of the night kind of turn out like this makes you really appreciate that game we saw in game 1.
Foul on the way for Mike Saunders Jr., but you make a great point, Brooks. This is the night 1. Last season, it really did feel like, honestly, on the men's side, all 12 teams could have won the championship, maybe 11, maybe 10. Elevated Indianapolis, I thought, was way better than the 0-4 record shows. Xavier Turner certainly proved that point a little bit earlier on. There's so much depth. There's so much parity, distribution of talent. Indianapolis recorder, this is not the last that we're going to see of them 3 more regular season games, time to improve upon this performance. But for all we know, Prudential's far and away the best team on the men's side. And we have plenty of major contenders that we haven't seen just yet.
Well, I think what Prudential has shown us here tonight is that they can play as a team. And we kind of knew that considering what they did in 2024. But they are putting it on display here in 2026. And it's very difficult to do, to play consistent team basketball. And they've kind of done that since the tip-off in the first quarter. A lot of extra passes, a lot of heads-up plays, and a lot of selfless basketball from Prudential tonight.
Absolutely. And again, Aaron Humphrey Jr., 3 points in the first half, but he's really showed up in the second half. You really just don't know who is going to be the player that steps up and makes the magic happen. This is going to be a dangerous team, no doubt. The target score is 89. The clock is no longer a factor. It's an 80-50 lead. Call it 81. 8 points away is Prudential. Well, Indianapolis Recorder's City League journey is far from over. This is just game 1. They'll play Indy Biz Pass on July 8th at 9 p.m. That's a Wednesday. Also, Prodigy Sports Network, who we just saw. That's Greg Foster's team. And then Boys and Girls Club, who we also just saw. So Indianapolis Recorder in that pool of teams, the black pool, that certainly has a lot of competition that we've already laid eyes on. So it'll be interesting to see if over the course of the summer, Indianapolis Recorder is able to really make a difference in that pool against 2 of the teams that we saw just now that were awesome. And then, of course, Indy Biz Pass as well a little bit later on in the season. Some confusion on the floor between the officials, but it seems to be cleared up. It'll be free throws for Humphrey Jr. We'll have statistical updates for Humphrey Jr. and everyone else after this game, but when we start the next game, I think it's important that we just indicate how many points Humphrey Jr. had in the first half compared to the second, because he has been a standout player down the stretch.
And Andrew, this is, again, only the first time that we've seen Prudential this year. A lot more games left on the schedule, but you can only imagine the team chemistry is here on night 1, what it'll be like maybe down the stretch and into the postseason.
It's part of why the City League is so fascinating, because it really takes 3 or 4 weeks to see every team twice, and so you don't really know what you're looking at. Maybe this is a Prudential team that's far and away better than everybody else. Maybe, Boys and Girls Club and Prodigy Sports Network really don't have the depth or the balance to compete with a team like Prudential. Maybe Prudential doesn't have the star power to compete on the other side. It's just impossible to tell until these teams play each other. And there's 12 men's teams, and every one of them plays 4 games. So you have no idea until the postseason who could really go and win a championship. Press Play Gaming Lounge proved that, going 2-2 in the regular season and winning the championship a year ago. DJ Hughes can't quite finish. There's guess who, Humphrey Jr. again with the putback. These bigs just bashing the ball off the backboard and grabbing the rebound each and every time. Vance calling for it. That's rare. He's usually the distributor. He was open, though. His teammates couldn't quite find him. Johnson pulls, he airballs. And Indianapolis Recorder will have a chance on the other end. That's a foul on Vance. Drops his opponent. That opponent being Rashawn Rush of Indianapolis Recorder. Tillman and Boyd back off the bench. Worley jogs off along with Hughes, so a slightly smaller lineup now And you know that this Prudential team is going to look to knock some triples in down the stretch as they look to end this game. They say that one was tipped off by the defense. Rush now, a corner triple off the mark. Rebound to Indianapolis Recorder. And it's back to Rush, knocks it down this time. Could you imagine an Indianapolis Recorder comeback in this situation?
You know, you never say die, but that would be that'd be the craziest comeback I've ever seen. Down 30, have to score 39 before the other team scores 9.
It's a rough one. We saw Hoop Buzz with a great comeback. They certainly weren't down by 30 at the time the target score hit the board, but Hoop Buzz with a great comeback. I remember Alan Arnett hitting the game winner late. Let's give Hoop Buzz one of its couple wins a season ago. And Indianapolis Recorder again, a corner triple. They're hot. Don't let them get hot. This time it was Dwayne Robinson knocking it down. Johnson in the corner. He finds Boyd. Boyd to Tillman. Tillman working inside. Along to Cash. Well done. 5 points away is Prudential. Mike Sanders Jr. having none of it. He lifts Indianapolis Recorder to the 60-point mark. Tillman with a deep three. He got that one. Off the bench and ready to rock and roll. 87 points for Prudential. They're 1 bucket away, no matter where it comes besides the free throw line. Saunders Jr., he likes that spot. Couldn't hit that time. Does Prudential end it right here? It's a Vance with a triple off the mark. There's 3 Prudential players under the basket and no one to contest for Indianapolis Recorder. And that's all there is to say about the end of this game. 89-61 is the final score. Prudential is who walks away with the victory. We now have 2 1-0 teams. It's Boys and Girls Club and Prudential. Prodigy Sports Network and Indianapolis Recorder, both 0-1. We will see those 2 teams, those 0-1 teams, face off a little bit later on in the year on July 23rd. That's all we have from the men's action this evening. We have 1 women's game here at the end of the night. But before we get there, Brooks, any thoughts on the 2 men's games that we saw and the 4 men's teams that we saw here on night 1?
Well, obviously it's night 1. We are very early into the TCL season. However, Game 1 was one of the most competitive back-and-forth complete games that I've ever seen. And I've been here doing these games for now 3 years. It was one of the best games I've seen, but also individually, a lot of guys showed up. Xavier Turner showed up, but Davion Bell hit the clutch layup at the very end to ice it. Here in game number 2, it was all Prudential. I think this might be one of the best teams in the league because of the way they play. It's team-oriented basketball. They're always looking up the floor, but they can beat you in multiple ways. We saw it down the stretch. A lot of big shots from Prudential. And that was a tough game for Indianapolis Recorder. They'll have to go back to the drawing board. Like we've talked about, they don't really have that team chemistry aspect that Prudential has, but it's only game 1, and you can only get better from here. So very exciting stuff, but still the night is not over. The queens of the court are back in action here at the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center.
It'll be NBA Math Hoops and Elevate Indianapolis. We'll preview both teams on the other side of this break. You're watching the City League Live. Thanks for sticking with us here on this Wednesday evening.
Hello and welcome back to Bonner Fitness and Learning Center, Game 3 of the first day of games here on the 2026 City League season. Brooks White joined alongside Andrew Garrison. Andrew Garrison will be with you the entire season long. And man, we are so excited. It's the Queens of the Court here in game number 3 here tonight. Elevate Indianapolis taking on NBA Math Hoops here in game number 3. Elevate wins the tip and immediately hoists a 3. This one rebounded by NBA Math Hoops, and we'll get it started here tonight. Pryor over to Clark. Clark shot no good, rebounded by Elevate and Brown. Brown going right to left, finishing with the right, and those are the first points of game number 3 here tonight. Elevate leads 2-0. Rodriguez in the corner. Down low to Conrad. Clark scoops with the left. That one no good. Rebounded by Elevate. Elevate will push in transition. Pick up the dribble. Moten. Back out to Telfair. Telfair swings it over to Brown. Brown shot no good. Rebounded by NBA Math Hoops. It's Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes right to left. Back out to Pryor. Pryor. Her pass intercepted, and Elevate lay it up on the other end. 4-0. Elevate taking the lead early. Kabara back out to Rodriguez. Kabara at the top of the key, driving with the right, picks it up. Looks outside. This one just snatched away by Sek. Sek spins. Sek floats this one up. Back-to-back buckets for Sek. And Elevate goes up 6-0 early. Pryor dribbles to the left. This one back out to Pryor on the left wing. Cross-court pass. Rodriguez now will hoist up a 3. This one no good. Off of the back rim and into the hands of Elevate. Elevate who will push in transition over to Telfair. Sek shot does not touch the rim, and it will go out of bounds.
Well, this NBA Math Hoops squad has many of the core components of the Be the Hands team last year that went 2-3, but made it to the semifinals, and there were 3 women's teams that really pulled away from the rest of the pack: Indy Block Professionals, Sensier Bank, and Horizon League. And Be the Hands was the one team out of that best of the rest group that was able to make it to the semifinals. An impressive run, and many of those players are now on NBA Math Hoops.
Callie Clark gets NBA Math Hoops' first bucket of the game. 6-3 the score. Off the hands of Clark. It will stay with Elevate Indianapolis. Side out to Telfair. Another spot-up jumper off the back rim. No good. Stays with Elevate Indy. Brown knocks down a 3. Rodriguez looks to respond for NBA Math Hoops. She'll cross the timeline. Kick it right back out to Lisa Pryor. Pryor drives, floats this one up with the right. And NBA Math Hoops responds with a floater. 4-point game, and Elevate will push the tempo. A great move. Spot up shot, no good. Rebounded by Pryor. Pryor out to Clark. Clark will try another deep 3. This one no good. Rebounded by Elevate. Elevate up to Watkins. Watkins, a great crossover, and Watkins gets that bucket to go. And Elevate on the other end keeps the ball, and Brown surveys. Now they go into the corner. Sek will be fouled, and the ball will stay down here. Elevate off to a quick start, looking to pounce off of that turnover.
Absolutely. Both the Elevate Indy and NBA Math Hoops sponsored men's teams last year. NBA Math Hoops had a team that had an undefeated regular season, Elevate a winless regular season. Now both sides sponsoring women's teams.
Brown, yet again, another big-time shot from beyond the three-point line. Elevate showing up here early in this first quarter. Rodriguez crosses over. Her pass is stolen. Back the other way. It's Moten. Elevate Indianapolis all over NBA Math Hoops here in the first quarter. Clark turns at the free throw line. Looks down low to Kabara. Kabara spins, rises up with the right. Up and under. And NBA Math Hoops looks to stop this Elevate Indy run. Telfair back over to Dow. Dow's three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Conrad. Conrad will turn the ball over and Elevate Indy getting their hands in the passing lanes, being scrappy and keeping the ball down low.
Yeah, NBA Math Hoops really struggling to set the offense in a lot of ways and struggling to establish a presence, a threatening presence, working in the right direction. But love to see that move in the post from Amy Kabara just now. It's going to be important that she establishes herself down low early.
2 shots, no good by Jessie Key. 3 title game appearances in the last 5 years from Jessie Key, now back into the game for Elevate Indy. They have a 16-7 lead. But Clark at the free throw line for NBA Math Hoops.
Now there's 6 women's teams while there's 12 men's teams. And every women's team, because there's fewer in number, are going to play 5 games. So we're going to see every single team against every single other team before the postseason. Contrary to last year, there were 7 women's teams last year, so there's still 1 team that everyone didn't get to play. Centaur Bank ran the table, didn't play against everybody, and we went into the postseason with kind of a lingering uncertainty of whether or not the seeding was really representative of how great each team's regular season was. But this year that won't be the case, and that's what I love almost the most about the Queens of the Court side is we get to see everything. It's really a comprehensive season, and this is just the beginning of it.
Elevate Indy at the other end. It's Telfair. Her shot no good, rebounded by Elevate Indy and Kelly Moten. Elevate Indy all over NBA Math Hoops right now. And Brown again. A big first quarter for Brown. And Elevate Indy lead by 10 here in game number 1. Clark, another 3, no good, rebounded by Elevate. Dow will drive to the right block. This one going the other way. Kabara took the charge on the right block. And NBA Math Hoops back with the possession.
Amy Kabara leaving it all out there, really playing hard. And she doesn't, as you know, kind of the post player on this women's side, she doesn't tower over her competition, but she certainly outplays her competition in a lot of different scenarios. We saw that on that Be the Hands team last year. She was a big part of that team's successful sequences.
Lisa Pryor over to Kabara. This one blocked by Moten. Dow will push up to Moten. Back in the corner, now down low to Key. We haven't seen much from Key in the first quarter, but we have seen a lot of Watkins. This one, no good. Her three-pointer goes off the front rim. Kabara sends this one over to Pryor. Pryor working on the left wing, now to the top of the key. Spot up three-point shot. Falls for Pryor. Cuts the deficit back to single digits as we dip closer to the end of the first quarter. Moten driving. Moten rises up, and she's fouled. Picked up her dribble on the right block and rose up. She'll go to the line for 2 shots, but Elevate Indy, Andrew, been moving at a different speed than NBA Math Hoops here in the first quarter.
Absolutely. And that acceleration across the court, that acceleration downhill, it's done a great deal of good for Elevate Indy. It's a women's season this year that we really don't know what to expect in. We will see 3 of the teams that we expect to be the favorites on the women's side tomorrow. Everwise Credit Union, which carries over much of the roster from Sentier Bank last year. Undefeated regular season, but lost in the title game. Horizon League, who did win the title last year and won the title 2 years ago as well. And then Indy Bach Professionals, Portia Green, who will always be in the mix. It almost doesn't matter who else is on her roster. Portia Green's going to be awesome. That'll be the end of the first quarter, and Portia Green does have a great roster around her as well. But it's Elevate Indy team proving they can contend.
A 10-point lead for Elevate Indy after the first quarter, 20-10 over NBA Math Hoops. We'll take a quick break and be back for the second quarter here at the City League. Back underway for the second quarter. NBA Math Hoops taking the ball up the floor. They'll cross half court. Clark drives baseline. This one tipped out of bounds. It'll stay NBA Math Hoops ball. Elevate Indy took a 10-point lead going into the break and really just utilizing all of their speed and quickness, and especially size down low to get that 10-point lead. Ball on the ground. This one, a jump ball. And it will go and be a jump ball. Kenna Conrad will go up against Amina Sek. This one, won by Sek and Elevate Indy. They'll push the tempo and transition. A great crossover from Telfair, and she'll be fouled. Bucket no good, and Telfair will go to the line for 2 shots.
It's true, and you're right. Elevate really playing with a great deal more pace, but also defending well in the half court, and so it's been super difficult for NBA Math Hoops to find success. We, of course, saw that triple try from Pryor that was successful for NBA Math Hoops, and we've also seen Amy Kabara in the post have some good moments, and Callie Clark as well, some good shots, but this team has a fair amount of talent. Rodriguez was awesome on the Circle City Talk team from a year ago. Amy Kabara, awesome on the Be The Hands team. Callie Clark as well. So this NBA Math Hoops team could totally pull it together.
Elevate this one into the hands of Telfair. Now down low, Dow looking to use her size. This one no good. Rebounded by Dow. And the second chance bucket falls for Elevate Indy. They go up by 12. Lisa Pryor swings it over to Rodriguez on the right wing. Rodriguez guarded closely by Watkins. She'll drive baseline, pick up her dribble, and walk out of bounds. A turnover. Ball back in the hands of Elevate Indy.
It's a familiar story here tonight. Elevate Indy playing well, almost similarly to Prudential. I feel like the performances on both sides have been very similar in these last two games.
Brown swings it over. The lights will go out. They come right back on. We'll see where the referees want to take the basketball.
That's a shame because Callie Clark had a breakaway bucket right there.
Definitely could have been 2 points for Callie Clark, but the lights decided to shut off here in the Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Clark, a deep three-point shot. This one doesn't touch the rim, but Elevate will take the ball and quickly move across half court. Quick move from Brown. Brown with the left. Over to Watkins. Watkins rises up. This one rebounded by Clark. Clark gets the ball stolen from Dow. Dow looking for contact. This one doesn't fall, and Clark gets the rebound. She's moving with some speed. Into the corner to Pryor. Pryor over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez will drive and put up the floater that falls. Back to a 10-point lead for Elevate Indy. With some life from NBA Math Hoops. Telfair will drive, and Telfair, her layup too strong off the front of the rim. Callie Clark dribbling. Some contact from Brown, but Clark feeds it into Conrad, and the ball will go out of play. Back into the hands of Elevate Indy. Watkins with the ball for Elevate Indy. High ball screen set from Key. Back around is Brown. Brown will step through, put up a floater. This one no good. Rebounded by Clark.
Well, how about that ferocity from Clark? Possession after possession. She's done a great deal of good for this NBA Math Hoops team in fueling a potential comeback, but she's whistled that time. We'll stay with Elevate.
Watkins will put up a deep three. This one no good. Rebounded by Kabara. Kabara over to Pryor. Pryor will take a deep three. This one no good. Rebounded by Brown. Brown across half court. Brown dribbling now with her left. She's fouled by Rodriguez. Under 5 minutes here in the first half. Elevate Indy leading by 10 over NBA Math Hoops in game number 3 of day 1 here at the City League.
Nice rebound a couple of possessions ago there from Amy Kabara. She's done a great job in the post. We've seen Pryor do a great job around the perimeter. We've seen Callie Clark do a great job in between. But we'll see if those three can contend with the entire team of Elevate Indy that's just firing on absolutely all cylinders, just like Prudential against Indianapolis Recorder.
Rodriguez up the floor to Pryor. Pryor looks up. She'll put up a shot. This one no good. Rebounded by Kabara. And Kabara is fouled by Watkins. Amy Kabara will go to the line for 2 shots.
And Kabara's letting everyone in the building know that she owns that area between the blocks, and you can stop her from scoring, but it may as well just send her to the free throw line. This is the first. We'll see if she can bounce back with the second.
Watkins checks out of the game. Into the game goes Kelly Moten for Elevate Indianapolis. Kabara, like you just mentioned, first free throw, no good. Second one on the way. This one finds the bottom of the net. So score here, 24-13 in favor of Elevate Indianapolis. Telfair finds a cutting Brown. Brown over to Key. Hand in there. This one knocked out of play. It'll stay with Elevate Indianapolis. Now underneath the basket. Telfair out on the right wing. This one fed down low to Key. Key in the paint. This one, a travel from Key. And the ball in possession will go back with NBA Math Hoops. They're down 11.
Last 2.5 minutes of the half. It's going to be a critical moment for NBA Math Hoops to swing the score a little bit.
Clark puts up a shot. This one no good. Rebounded by Key. But this one's stolen right back from Clark. Her second chance effort, no good. Her third shot is good. So Callie Clark trying to get some momentum back in the hands of NBA Math Hoops. Moten will drive baseline. This one kicked out to Telfair. Telfair on the left wing. She'll take a deep three. This one is good. And Elevate Indy responds after Callie Clark put up a layup on the other end. A deep three from Elevate Indy puts the lead back up to 12. 27-15 here with just under 2 minutes in the half. The ball will stay with Elevate Indy.
90 seconds, and we mentioned NBA Math Hoops and that prime opportunity to really swing the scoreboard a little bit, and Elevate Indy just right away stamping out that chance.
Rodriguez crosses the timeline now on the left wing. It's Lisa Pryor. Now corner, Rodriguez. Little jab step, looking to make something happen. Now NBA Math Hoops will put the ball on the ground. The other way, it's Amina Sek. Sek goes cross-court pass to Moten. They find a cutting Carnithia Brown, and Brown has put together a pretty solid first half for Elevate Indy.
Incredible team basketball.
That one no good. Rebounded by Jessie Key. Up the floor is Brown again. Brown will put up a three. This one falls. A great first half from Carnithia Brown. And Elevate Indy up by 17. 5 seconds left in the first half. Great defense on Rodriguez. She'll have to put up a shot, and it doesn't touch the rim. So at the half, 32-15 in favor of Elevate Indianapolis over NBA Math Hoops. Andrew, just day number 1 of the City League, and only the first game of the Queens of the Court side. But Elevate Indy, they could have a very good team that can contend in this bracket this year.
Absolutely, and it's worth noting as we see with everyone on the bench that NBA Math Hoops is here with only 5 players right now today, so it'll only get more difficult from here as Elevate Indy makes a few subs. But you're absolutely right. It's been quite the first half for Elevate Indy as they look forward to the second. We'll be back in a moment on the City League Live.
Welcome back to the City League. It's game number 3, and it's the second half between NBA Math Hoops and Elevate Indianapolis. The first half, all Elevate Indy. 32-15 your score here in Indy. Rodriguez, the give and go. This one in the hands of Moten. Clark and Rodriguez trying to get the steal there. Sek will drive and put up a floater. This one no good. Rebounded by Lisa Pryor. Pryor, cross-court pass to Rodriguez. It's been a fairly quiet night from Rodriguez. Pryor will drive, put up a shot. This one no good. Rebounded by Moten. Moten going into the paint. A great pass to Key. Back to Moten. Spot up. Mid-range shot. No good. Rebounded by Key. Key picks it up at the free throw line. She'll get it back to Moten. Moten takes a deep three. This one no good. Rebounded off the front of the rim. Clark. Back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez puts up a three. This one banks in. She must have heard I was talking about her because Rodriguez on the board. First bucket of the second half. NBA Math Hoops gets it to go 32-18. Watkins hits that one, swatted by Rodriguez. Callie Clark will back up. Back over to Kabara. Now across half court. Lisa Pryor will walk the ball over. Conrad puts up the three-point shot. She gets a rebound, and Rodriguez puts up a second three-point shot, back-to-back. She really must have heard me, Andrew.
Yeah, well, I regret it now because I almost mentioned how impressed I was that Elevate Indy was kind of taking Rodriguez out of the game because putting those more sizable wings on her defensively made it difficult for her to move downhill, and she really couldn't. But now she's just stepping back from three and knocking down triples that way. 6 straight points for her.
Callie Clark takes a deep three. Back-to-back-to-back three-point shots from NBA Math Hoops. Watkins looks to respond with a three of her own. And Elevate forced to take a quick timeout. The deficit back to 10 for NBA Math Hoops. 34-24 still in favor of Elevate Indy. But some life from NBA Math Hoops.
Absolutely. And sometimes that's all it takes, just a quick run to at least get yourself within reach. With this Elam ending, there's no time situation. There's no situation where Elevate Indy can just run out the clock when we get later on in the contest. As long as NBA Math Hoops is within reach, really anything can happen. That's evidenced by the first game of the night a little bit earlier on with Boys and Girls Clubs swinging a result away from Prodigy Sports Network. Back in action in a moment after the timeout. 7:14 left to go in period number 3.
Brown, guarded by Rodriguez. Brown drives to the right, finds a cutting Amina Sek, and Sek gets that one to go for Elevate Indy. Back down low and one, Amy Kabara.
She got it with the foul, but she's still down. We hope to see her in a good place physically. She's helped up, and it might have just been a stinger there. Or her nose.
She might have got hit in the face.
She seems to be all right. Still sort of recovering, gathering her bearings.
Kabara looking to convert on the and one. Free throws following the bucket. This one no good, off the front rim. Then she picks up a quick foul.
How about the fight from Kabara, though? Just spectacular all night long. Nearly cut the deficit to single digits, but either way, this team's in this game in part because of her.
This one too strong from Sek. Picked up by Callie Clark. Down low. Kabara fouled again, so she misses the free throw. Now she'll get back and have 2 more.
Some redemption opportunities, and NBA Math Hoops didn't give up any points on the other end, so a little bit of deja vu real quick for Kabara.
First free throw, no good. See if she can make the second. Second free throw up and no good. So 0 for 3 from the line from Amy Kabara. Elevate Indy. Back the other way. Carnethia Brown finds the bottom of the net. Brown puts Elevate Indy back up 12, 38-26. As we dip beneath halfway through this third quarter, Brown up and under again. Elevate Indy winning in transition here. Pryor will cross half court for NBA Math Hoops, now on the right wing, guarded by Brown. Clark, a deep 3, this one no good. It will roll out of bounds. Brown over to Dow. Dow driving in the paint. Dow puts up the shot. No good. Rebounded by Kabara. Kabara looks up the court. Finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez, her 3 no good. Rebounded by Elevate Indian Brown. Brown pushing to tempo. Her shot no good. But she's fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, that'll be a foul on Rodriguez. She didn't like it. Rodriguez sometimes just an alligator underneath the water. She paces back the other way. Sometimes after, about 5 to 7 minutes, you could forget about her, but then she'll step right back up and make a play when it matters most.
NBA Math Hoops back the other way, right wing. A deep 3. Lisa Pryor. We'll see if Watkins can respond. Going up against Pryor. Back to Dow. Dow just checked into the game, and Dow will go to the line for 2 shots.
It's a tragic foul on Kabara. It was good defense all the way up until the very final moment. But Dow's tricky. She really barrels down the lane. She's going to be tough to stop for defenses throughout the season.
First free throw is good from Dow. Second free throw is good from Dow. So 2 for 2 at the line from China Dow. 44-29, a 15-point lead for Elevate Indy. NBA Math Hoops and Rodriguez. Back over to Clark. Clark drives baseline. Gets the midi to go. Cuts the deficit back to 13. Telfair. A deep 3 from Tiara Watkins. And Watkins gets the lead up to 16. This one, a feed-in pass to Kenna Conrad. Back out to the corner. This one no good. Rebounded by Elevate Indy. Kelly Moten will go up Has it snatched by Rodriguez, and Rodriguez gets her pass tipped out of bounds. Possession will stay with NBA Math Hoops. Rodriguez on the right wing. Behind the back dribble. Back over to Conrad. And Brown will rise up, showing off the strength there. 49-31. We dip beneath 20 seconds. Ball will stay with NBA Math Hoops. But less than 10 seconds left in this third quarter. Rodriguez into Pryor. Pryor to Clark. And Clark doesn't get the shot off in time. So the third quarter ends 49-31. Elevate Indy over NBA Math Hoops by 18 going into the fourth quarter. A great game so far from Carnethia Brown, but don't go anywhere. The fourth quarter brings a lot of fun, Andrew, and still the Elam ending. Welcome back. It's the fourth quarter between Elevate Indy and NBA Math Hoops. Watkins will put up a shot. If you're just now joining us, this is the third game here tonight. The last of them all. And the first game of the Queens of the Court bracket this year at the City League. Lisa Pryor taking up the ball for NBA Math Hoops. They're currently down 18, but you never know. The Elam ending brings some craziness. Callie Clark will get to the line. Clark has been a main contributor to this offense here tonight.
Yeah, you're right. NBA Math Hoops certainly has received a lot of production from Clark, Kabara, some from Rodriguez as well. Pryor with a couple nice shots, but really Clark and Kabara leading the way, and there hasn't been quite enough outside of those two or those top few. And this team that only has 5 players to play is really going to have to kick it up a notch, give everything else they have in the tank late.
Watkins, another tough bucket from her, a spot-up mid-range shot. Now back the other way. Clark raises up. This one hits the top of the backboard, but it's rebounded by NBA Math Hoops. Second chance from Pryor does not go. Jessie Key moves the ball in transition. She'll pick up her dribble. Step back, three-point shot put up. Rebounded by Amina Sek, and Sek will get fouled.
Well, how about that move at the top from Dow?
Great crossover.
Completely sheds Pryor, misses the shot, but certainly deserved to make it after that effort.
And she made her own room for the shot. That's something that any basketball player would want. You got to create your space. And Dow really did it, but Elevate Indy gets 1 point to show from that possession. Minnesek goes 1 for 2 at the line. Back the other way, Cabarro will take a three, and it hits. 52-36. Just a couple of minutes away from the Elam ending being posted. Telfair takes a deep three. This one no good. Rebounded by Lisa Pryor. Lisa Pryor. A great no-look pass, but it's rejected by Telfair. Callie Clark hits the rebound and puts up the shot. It'll fall for NBA Math Hoops. Back the other way, it's Sek. Sek gets the second chance bucket to go. And Elevate Indy. They haven't slowed a beat. Took the lead to start. They have never trailed in this game, and they've never looked like they were going to trail. Rodriguez takes a deep three. She started the second half hitting from downtown, but this one will go out of play. Possession back to Elevate Indy.
Tricky one there for Cabarra. Couldn't quite corral it. Just a couple minutes away. A couple more opportunities here. A few more minutes. A few more possessions for NBA Math Hoops to cut into this deficit before the target score hits the board.
Brown gets her pass tipped. Kenna Conrad looks to Clark. Back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez will take it back beyond the three-point line. Lisa Pryor. Three-point shot up, no good. Rebounded by Clark, and Clark is fouled.
Looks like Dow took a tough hit to the face there as well. Clark goes to check on her. A minute and 15 left. Might not be the last action of the fourth quarter before we hit the Elam ending, but it's at the very least going to be close. So critical that Clark made these free throws to make it just a 14-point deficit when we hit the target score.
Anything helps, especially as we dip closer to that Elam ending finish. 54-38, your current score. Clark missed the first of two free throws, the second one on the way, and it will fall. So Clark goes 1 for 2 at the line. 15-point deficit for NBA Math Hoops. Elevate Indy driving, it's Brown. Brown has had such a great game today for Elevate Indy. Rodriguez. NBA Math Hoops will turn it over. Jessie Key. We haven't seen a ton from her today. She'll rise up. This one rebounded by Brown. Key keeps the second chance hopes alive, but her third chance no good. Cabarra goes cross-court pass to Kenna Conrad. This one no good. Rebounded by Cabarra, but on the floor, and she will call a timeout. So NBA Math Hoops will keep the possession, but also with that, the Elam ending score will officially be announced at 65.
That's right. So first team to 65 will take the win here. Cabarra's timeout was necessary in the sense that, you know, she probably wasn't going to see that possession turn out successfully for her if she didn't take the timeout. But at the same time, like you mentioned, puts the target score on the board, robs that team of an opportunity to steal one more bucket before the target score hits the board and before the Elam ending takes effect.
So a very strategic timeout from Amy Cabarra and NBA Math Hoops. They will control the possession, but they have their work cut out for them. 65 is the target score. The stands have definitely emptied compared to what it started at 7 p.m., but we have basketball all summer long here at the City League. Andrew Garrison, he's going to be taking over He's the big man here on campus for the City League this summer, and he's got you covered with the City League podcast. Obviously, these broadcasts, but there's a lot of basketball in the Circle City. Jesse Key gets the three-point shot to fall. 6 points now separate Elevate Indy and their first win in the win column for 2026. Conrad.
It's going to be a foul on Key. Looked to hit Conrad in the face there that time. Right in front of the official there on the sideline.
Rodriguez for NBA Math Hoops. Her pass is tipped. Brown with some chase back the other way. Rodriguez will pick up the foul. Amina Sek will go to the line for 2 shots.
You make a good point about the City League podcast. I believe we're targeting Saturday as the day to release the next one. Obviously, we have 4 games to broadcast tomorrow. I'll be back. I'll be back with Tegan Duke, our good friend Tegan Duke, both you and me, Brooks White. And then the City League podcast on Saturday. We'll recap all the action, all 7 games, look ahead to the next week. There's still some teams that we haven't seen, still teams we won't have seen even after tomorrow. So plenty to be excited about and to be interested in at the City League.
NBA Math Hoops and Rodriguez go on to the left wing. Rodriguez will stop. Conrad will pull up. This one no good. Rebounded by Watkins. Watkins. And Elevate Indy need 5 points. Key gets Clark jumping. And now Elevate Indy only need 3 points. Clark. Guarded closely by Moten. Clark over to Rodriguez in the left corner. Now at the free throw line, Rodriguez will retreat. Conrad jabs with the right, finds a cutting Amy Kabara. Kabara can't get it to go. Elevate Indy won it all. Watkins back out to Sek. Sek will hoist it up. This one no good. Rebounded by Key. Key keeping it alive. Back over to Brown. Moten wants it. This one doesn't fall. And NBA Math Hoops and Callie Clark move the ball down the floor. Callie Clark up and under. Moten back to Brown. Brown puts up a 3. That one no chance. Rodriguez. She'll put up a 3 of her own. That one won't fall. Rebounded by Kabara. Kabara in the right corner. Finds a cutting Callie Clark. And Clark gets this one to bank in. 62-41. 3 points are needed for Elevate Indy. Moten at the top of the key over to Brown. Brown tried to find a cutting Amina Sek. This one out in front of her. And a timeout is called on the floor. Just 3 points needed to end the game, but NBA Math Hoops playing the entire game without subs. It's going to catch up to them for sure, but just 3 points separate Elevate Indy from that first win. Do a little NBA draft update. Lakers on the clock right now in the second round. Lisa Pryor over to Rodriguez. This one long, rebounded by Clark. Clark will put the ball up. Clark will get a line for 2 shots.
Absolutely. We've seen some great target score Elam ending comebacks in the City League in the past, as recently as a year ago, both on the men's and women's sides. We'll see if one's brewing here, but Elevate's just 1 shot away, a triple away at least. Seen them go for a few in a row. Not quite able to make one yet. We'll see which three-point shooter knocks down the game winner.
Moten on the left wing. She's driving uncontested for the layup. 1 point needed for Elevate Indy. This one in the corner to Kenna Conrad. Conrad back out to Clark. Clark, mid-range shot, no good. Rebounded by Moten. Moten goes up the floor, crosses the timeline. Moten finds a cutting Brown. Back out. A deep 3 from Watkins. This one no good. Rebounded by Lisa Pryor. Back up the floor to Rodriguez. Rodriguez to Clark. Clark rises up with the left. This one too strong. Rebounded by Clark. And she gets the second chance bucket to go. Brown knifing through the defense. Brown rises up and one. And that'll do it. Elevate Indy wins their first game of the season. They win this one 66-44. And that'll do it from day one at the City League. We had 3 great games today, Andrew. I know you're going to recap all of this on the City League podcast this week, but 3 great games here today on opening day. But again, tomorrow there's going to be 4 games, and it's opening day for them as well. So super exciting stuff happening here in Indianapolis this summer. There's always great hoops in the city, but the City League does it best in the summer. And Andrew Garrison obviously has you covered. But Andrew, we really got lucky here tonight with some really great basketball.
Absolutely. A first look at a lot of great teams. You talk about the depth and the parity that the City League provides year after year. We've seen it on the men's side and on the Queens of the Court side year after year and game after game tonight. And you're right, we'll do it again tomorrow. 4 games on the docket for tomorrow night. It should be a whole lot of fun. 2 women's games, 2 men's games, and a ton of great basketball to be played right back here at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. If you can't be here in person, which we recommend that you are, certainly tune in to this live stream tomorrow. 6 o'clock is the tip-off of Game 1. It'll go through 10 p.m. just like today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the City League Live for the first night of City League action. Elevate Indianapolis takes Game 1 of its season against NBA Math Hoops, 66-43 in the final game of the night in the first Queens of the Court game of the season. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Myself and Tegan Duke. Thank you to Brooks White for joining us this evening. This isn't the last you'll see of him over the course of the City League season either. We'll be back